Hey everybody, this is Calier. This is the Picking a Daisy show. I'm gonna sip on a little bit of coffee here while I talk to you. This is the long form Picking a Daisy show. Oh, they're all long form. Who are we kidding? Hey, on Facebook, there is Picking a Daisy on Facebook. Just look it up, friend it, like it, whatever it is that they do over there. And that has the first Picking a Daisy on eBay episode. So I will probably do more of those episodes here on YouTube. But the very first one, it exists on Facebook. So if you go and check out and like and friend, I'm sure the robots will let you see the video. No, I'm just kidding. It's available for you to see. Just look it up. Picking a Daisy. All right. So the excitement today is the newcomer. And it sits here with my two standards. These never go anywhere. The vintage ones, we shoot them, we clean them up, and then we, put them in a safe. And we bring them out from time to time. But we can't have, if you have a bunch of these things laying around, they'll only get abused, right? And scratched up and stuff. So you have to find safe places for these things. There's also some other goodies. Now, I realize I've shown you guys this stuff before. Some of it. Some of it. Most exciting thing is the new sticker. You can get these at pickingadaisy.com. They're really nice quality, $4, postpaid, shipped right out to you. And yeah, I'm quite sure I've shown you all of these things, but here they are one last time before they go into the vaults. There's just so many cool old little things. That's what makes daisies such a collectible. You know, over the years, I believe this is from 1930. Who knows where this is from? Maybe 1980s. I think that because I don't see made in China on it anywhere. And we know this is made in China. You could just tell. These aren't, America didn't make stuff of this quality in the 80s. And quality in quotes, right? Yeah, this is not, even this Daisy thing, which more than likely was made in America. And this has a little bit more feel of quality and whatnot. This feels cool. It's neat. It's just that this style of quality seems to have emerged about the 80s or so. And then the Shoot Safe Buddy. One last look at that before it gets put away. And the Daisy cleaning kit. I've since found that this came with another box and I think another thing of oil. So I may have to find that stuff or maybe purchase another one that's complete so we have some of a better reference. But it's just missing those two things. It shows it's actually been used, that's for sure. So this looks so huge online, and then you get it, it's just tiny, little tiny thing. So all right, let's put these aside and let's get to the business at hand, which is a cup of coffee. Cheers. Or you're a teetotaler, cheers. I was drinking tea for years in place of coffee, but I just love coffee. It's a drug. I'm addicted. Let's get right to the king. Let's get right to it. No, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see that at all. The scribe on that. Yeah. The lettering. Is that coming through? Well, I apologize if it's not. But we are here at the Calier Range. And look at this. This is the King model 2233. It's 1,000 shot. And was made anywhere between 1933, 34, 35. We know this because there's the blue book. That always helps. But this last number refers to the year it was first produced, the 2233, and the 2233 was replaced with the 2236. Or is it the 38? Oh, these numbers always get me confused. I'm pretty sure it's the 2236. Imagine the history. Hitler was just sort of coming into power in Germany when this rifle was in some kid's hands. Right? I'm quite doubtful that these washers are original. The screws seem to be original, perhaps. That's original. These nuts aren't original, but they are old school. These were nut replacements from the era, at least. So I like these. I leave those. I wouldn't replace them. There are certain things that give the guns character and a certain honesty. I mean, look at the honesty of that. That's telling you something about history. This was cared for and repaired in the day, not like recently, right? Yeah, really neat. Cast iron lever, not the aluminum. And of course, by 1940, by 47, certainly by 47, no more cast iron. That was all used up in the war. So went to die-cast aluminum for the handles. And then eventually, as we all know, with my everyday shooters, the plastic composite lever. They're quite strong. Doesn't change the functionality. But we just love the cast iron. Man, that's just super groovy. And the real wood. Now, now of course, it has King. It says King Manufacturing Company. This is actually just a daisy, of course. By now, King had been pretty much bought up, and Daisy had taken over manufacturing of their stuff and selling. So even though it's marked a King, it's actually a daisy. Now, my question is, I haven't been able to figure this out yet, is the 2233 similar or the same as the 10233, the Daisy 10233? So what we've seen is there's these parallel kind of things where you'll have a king that's pretty much the same thing as the daisy, but they're marked differently. And well, they were actually sold to different markets. They were very clever with that. But they eventually did discontinue, I believe in the 40s, discontinued the king line altogether. But yeah, the 2233. So the big question is, how does it shoot? Let's look at it for a second. This loads on the right side of the barrel. I have not been able to unscrew this off all the way, and I've just been really busy, so I'm not going to funk with it too much. What I am going to do is drop some oil down the barrel and let it sit for a while, so that way I know the seals and the piston there is getting nice and lubricated. And then when I have some time, I will go ahead and see if I can get this off altogether. That has to come off because we always want to clean the shot tube in there. Clean that up and then oil up the seal. The stock on this is solid. There's no movement on the stock at all, so that's nice. Means it's yeah, there's, and the wood's not too badly dried out. It still has its varnish on it, really. So with the varnish on these being so nice, I often wonder, is this a 1930s? Could something from the 1930s still maintain its varnish? I suppose it could, yeah. But of course, the only way to know that would be, well, we know that this wasn't produced after 1947. So we know that this couldn't have, gone out into production into the 50s. So with that being the case, just going 10 years earlier into the 30s, yeah. So I would say, with the exception of some little paint splotches, and it's a little bit more rustic on this side than this side, I would give this a steel, super fine quadruple steel wool, the 4-0. I'd put some steel wool on this, just get rid of, and then I would put a little bit of oil on this, and I would not varnish it. Yeah, I just kind of open up the grain a little bit with the steel wool, just a little. I'd open up the grain just a little, and then oil it. Open up the grain and then get some nice oil in there just to keep the stock nice and healthy for another 100 years, right? So yeah, steel, nice solid. You guys know this is my favorite. Nice non-adjustable rear sight, front sight. They meant well with these adjustable sights, but they obviously figured it was sort of useless, and the first number 25, right? The 1914 25 has an adjustable, so that's how you know if it's a 1914 first variant. It has a front adjustable sight. So yeah, they realized that those were pretty useless. This is a nice, pretty thin front sight. All right, so I already know how this shoots, and I know that this particular 1933, remember the 1933s do not necessarily take the 177 pellet. They actually take a slightly larger. So there's a good chance that that's the case with this. That's the case. So the reason it's not shooting at full power and I'm not able to hit out at 50 yards with something like this, although I haven't tried yet, but my guess is it would be just too silly. The Kentucky windage would be too silly in order to hit the target at 50 yards with this under the circumstances that this requires probably a slightly larger lead ammo. And that's another thing. We got steel ammo. So these two, we don't know if this was made in order to accommodate the steel ammo. So that's another reason why we don't like to shoot these too much unless we have the right ammo, and the right ammo is, often, well, I have not found any. Let's just put it that way. I have not found. I've found some number 2 shot. That's it. So, however, we're going to take a few shots, just a few shots. Okay, boy, this is shooting better right now than it was. Let's see. Okay, I'm not quite sure anything came out. Huh. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to have to take it back. I'm quite sure this could hit out at 50. And it's shooting really well, so I don't know. Maybe this was made to shoot the 177 caliber and not the slightly larger caliber. That is really cool and exciting. And it shot quite nice. I was, when I was shooting out at 20, I was trying to compensate by shooting high. But when I hit, I was just aiming right center of mass at the target. So, wow, that's really cool. I think this old gun just needed to be shot. So I'm not going to shoot it much more because I want to make sure it gets a good amount of oil in there. And you might ask, why don't I just oil the barrel right away? Well, a lot of times the guns come oiled. A lot of times they come a little over-oiled, overzealous from the person you're getting it from. And so you don't want to over-oil it either. I may have a power line that I just got recently. That might have been the case with those. It just came oil all over the place. I don't know. It's rather that or it just leaked. So there it is. A 2233 made somewhere between 33 and 35, shooting quite nicely out at 20 yards. And after I clean this up a little bit, I'm sure it's gonna hit out at 50 with no problem. Now it's probably, I don't know, it might even hit out at 50 as well as the new guns, the Model 20 that we got, or the Model 10 rather, I'm sorry, and the 105B Buck. Those things shoot wonderfully. Yes, and of course the Red Ryder 1938B, those new guns also shoot great. But the collectible ones just, some of them shoot almost as good as the newer ones, almost. So I'll take that. Yeah, I don't mind having to adjust my point of aim with a vintage gun in order to hit out at 50 yards. Not a problem. Yeah. All right. Well, this is the latest addition to the Calier collection, and I couldn't be more pleased. This thing is just, it's patinaed, but I'm not seeing really any rust except for maybe up here around the rear sight, maybe a little bit of schmutz. I don't even know if that's rust. It almost looks like something else, like a solder or something. I don't know. You know, I've noticed a lot of these sights with solder on them. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I've noticed that. And I don't know if I don't know if these guns are just used to hold soldering irons or something, or I don't know why that solder would be there. If anybody knows, let me know. It's been a mystery to me. I've had a few guns where a little bit of solder on there. It's not holding anything. This, as you know, goes, or probably know, the sight goes into there and holds the pump, the piston in place. And yeah, you put a pronged rod inside of here and push in, and then pull this out. That allows you to take the whole mechanism out. I believe that's how you do it. I haven't done it yet. So if I'm talking nonsense, please correct me here. I'll do it eventually, because I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. I've already got a few guns that need the seals to be replaced or repaired, so it's gonna have to be done, and I believe that's how it's done. Don't mark my word on that. Yeah, what a nice looking gun. It's nothing special, no markings, you know. But you know, how many of these are there, right? They only made so many BB guns in America before they started getting made abroad. In fact, you know, they started getting made abroad quite early, I hear, but I don't know that story very well. So it might be time to contact the Rogers, the Daisy Museum, and contact our buddy out there and ask some more questions, now that we have some more interesting questions to ask, or hopefully we have some more. Yeah, see, that paint just came off. That little speckle of paint just came off real easy. Just kind of rubbed it off with my nail. Here's another one. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I hope you enjoy that. I have not abused your company too much by just constantly sipping on coffee. And hey, go check out Picking a Daisy. We got Picking a Daisy on Facebook, and there's Picking a Daisy on Instagram. Yeah. So go check those out. Follow, like, subscribe, whatever, and help keep this channel afloat. Yeah. And oh, yep, one last little push for the Daisy sticker. Don't forget, Picking a Daisy. It says stand and deliver. That's what the bottom says. It says pickingadaisy.com, stand and deliver. And air rifles with the old Century. Oh, hi. Wow, that is flying incredibly low. You'd think lived next to an airport or something. Apparently there's some sort of Air Force base somewhere around here. All right. So yeah, $4. There are only 50 made. So $4 postpaid. You can get them at pickingadaisy.com, of course. Thank you guys for, okay, one more, just one more. One more. Will it shoot? All right. I have no idea. Okay. Let's one thing we will not do, and that is end on a miss. So let's hit it. There we go. All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. See you shortly. Yeah, that's what we mean to say.